Do you see any similarities between OBE, NDE, and other experiences like which are induced with DMT or even ET contact experiences? Are there any similarities between?
Yeah, if you look at the description of the experience, there's a lot of overlap. And maybe some are versions of the other, right? So for example, one of the key features of a near-death experience tends to be an out-of-body experience. So either you could frame that as a near-death experience is a special type of out-of-body experience. So the out-of-body experience is a key feature of the NDE. So there's definitely overlap there. And I do find it interesting that, for example, accounts of abduction, right, many times involve being on a bed and levitating and going to a different environment. It makes you wonder if at least some of those experiences are, in fact, out-of-body experiences. It's possible. So there's definitely overlap. And a lot of times, it's hard to say where does one type of experience begin, the other one ends, what label should we attach to it. Or we have an experience and then we expect that everyone else's experience will be similar. And if it's not, then it's not that experience, or it's not as interesting or important. What I do find interesting is that a lot of people who've had near-death experiences, they become attached to it because it was a special and transformative experience. I mean, the thing that led to it was probably painful or unpleasant, right? Car crash or heart attack or something, electrocution. That part wasn't fun. But the experience that happened after, was profound. And they almost don't want to analyze it too much because they're afraid it's going to remove the magic from it. But for me, an out-of-body experience is like, I don't know, chocolate, potato chips, or something like that. Like, I like more the salty things. So if I have one potato chip and I like it, I'm not going to say, you know what, that was really special. I don't want to have another because it will ruin the experience of the first one. I say, no, I'd like to have another. Maybe I shouldn't have too many right now. I'm going to save them for later, but I'm definitely going to have another later, right? Whereas if you make it too precious, then you almost don't want to seek to have another one because that one was so important to you. So I think that's an interesting perspective where people having OBEs that are volitional, or even if they were spontaneous, but then later they had intentional ones, they just want to have another and keep learning, right? Whereas some people have had NDEs, I would have expected that they would want to have more. But it's almost like it didn't occur to them that they could have more and that they were related. So, but I think people who do make the connection, then if they learn that they can revisit that realm, now it's not going to be the same experience necessarily going through a tunnel, seeing a being of light, and it might not be as dramatic. Like my first OBE was I had a walk to my living room and my bedroom, right? And I was looking at the trees, but it was very profound actually, much simpler but very profound. And some of my experiences were more dramatic than others, more interesting, to narrate than others. But it's the accumulation of many experiences that really makes the impact. So I would hope that people that already have an inkling about things beyond the physical body, that they would seek to have their own experiences. Because just one, it's nice, but you could have so much more.